Season 3, No More Nice. This episode is entitled Not Controlled by Approval, the emotional cost of needing everyone around us to understand us. Some people are emotionally exhausted, not because they're doing too much, not because we're doing too much, but because we are constantly managing how everyone else experiences us. And managing misunderstandings, managing perception, managing tension, managing rejection, managing belonging, and managing other people's comfort. And eventually, a healing journey or a healing season will ask, what happened when I stopped emotionally performing for acceptance? Hey y'all, I am Madison Samone Chase, also known as Miss Chase. I was raised by an incredible single mom who is my biggest fan, my BFF, my best friend, my bestie. I am a celebrity certified personal trainer, fitness and wellness expert, and a sports and entertainment media host. I was born in Fort Worth, raised in Dallas, Texas, and built in Los Angeles, California. I trained in New York City at Juilliard with School of American Ballet, becoming the world's only 3-time ESPN Miss Fitness champion, appearing in more than 450 DVDs and infomercials. And the first of those DVDs was led by celebrity trainer and the GOAT, Gunnar Peterson, known for training the Kardashian family. As a personal trainer and certified celebrity personal trainer myself, I've worked with Robert Pattinson of Twilight and Batman, Chris Tucker of Rush Hour, Amber Riley of Glee, Dancing with the Stars, and The Masked Singer champion. And as a sports and entertainment media host, I've had the joy of interviewing Richard Branson, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Emma Stone, Viola Davis, Tyler Perry, and Tiana Taylor, to name a few. I share my accomplishments, not to toot my own horn, but to honor the millions of sacrifices my mom planted in me so that I could blossom into the woman I'm still becoming. So if you're listening at home, pull up a real chair. If you're listening online, pull up a digital chair and grab yourself some hot herbal tea, and welcome to my cozy home of Cut to the Chase at 8. Now, C2TC8, H.E.R Circle, which stands for High Performing, Empowered Women and Men who are ready to thrive. It is a 15-minute micro-learning moment for macro living. And I am so overjoyed that you are here, because this is where we explore life, spirit, mind, and body through lived experiences, yours and mine, and intentional growth. So join me daily for just 15 minutes a day, twice a day at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Central, because this is your daily pause for a cause, for clarity, for wellness, for allowing grace in this space, and for intentional decision-making and transformations. Each episode, my offer to you are 3 keys and 1 reflection question. My prayer and hope is that the 3 keys are something practical, something grounded, and something you could sit with and carry with you throughout your day. So let's take a breath together. We're going to inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's cut the noise. Let's get clear. Let's get ready. Let's get set. And let's grow. Some people spend years trying to explain their heart, their kind heart, to people who never, ever were committed to understanding it. And that can become emotionally exhausting, because when survival teaches you that belonging is connected to approval, you start emotionally managing that approval and everything else around you. How you sound, how you're perceived, how quickly you respond, how much you explain, how agreeable you appear, how digestible you make yourself. And not because you're weak, but because your nervous system learned, if I am misunderstood, disconnected, excluded, rejected, or mischaracterized, I may lose safety. So now, misunderstanding, it feels dangerous. And when you feel the danger, we tend to over-explain, we over-clarify, we over-function, we over-accommodate, we over-manage. Not realizing emotionally healthy connections don't require constant self-translation or self-auditing. And eventually, some people become so focused emotionally that they want to be understood and that they stop asking, am I even safe in this environment? Is this person pouring back into me? Am I respected? Am I liked? Is this being reciprocated? Am I being protected? Am I being valued? Or is this relationship a purpose-driven relationship? Or is it aligned with my destiny? Because needing everyone to understand us can quietly become another form of self-sabotage and abandonment. And it's not that we're sabotaging or abandoning our purpose or abandoning or sabotaging our vision, but abandoning our emotional stillness, trying to constantly manage perception and or what people say about us. And some people benefit from that. Lots of people benefit from that because the more emotionally busy you are explaining yourself, the less emotionally available you are to fully focus on your purpose and what you're called to do. And that's why some people unconsciously keep others trapped in cycles of confusion, mixed signals, emotional inconsistency, passive communication, indirect tension, or people who jockey for positions in a group, gossip, emotional guessing, performative peace, because confusion and chaos keeps emotionally aware people over engaged. But clarity frees us. Clarity frees you. Clarity frees the people who are emotionally trying to keep up with the confusion. And emotionally mature people do not require endless emotional labor to maintain connection. They do a couple of things. They communicate, they clarify, they advocate, they reciprocate, and they address things directly. Which is why healing starts changing what feels emotionally normal. Because you stop normalizing indirect communication, performative support, emotionally one-sided friendships, subtle digs disguised as jokes where you're the butt of the joke, service level connection or surface level connection that's guided in like, oh, I'm really serving you, but this is surface level. Being emotionally available to everyone and constantly proving your intentions, or feeling responsible for managing everyone else's comfort. Because eventually you realize some people were never asking for clarity. They never wanted to clear up anything. They wanted to keep it blurry, but what they were asking for was continued access. And there is a difference. They wanted access to our energy. They wanted access to our emotional labor, our support, our listening ear, our resources, the people that we knew, our visibility, our kindness, our overfunctioning, our reassurance, our grace, our creativity, our emotional availability, our style, our effortless style. And healing starts teaching you that everybody does not deserve unrestricted access to you. And that realization can feel uncomfortable at first because many people were conditioned to believe being needed equals being loved. But being emotionally useful and being emotionally valued are not always the same thing. And this is where healing becomes less about people pleasing and more about discernment. You start asking, who is pouring back into me? Who reciprocates? Who communicates honestly? Who only reaches out during crisis? Who creates confusion instead of clarity? Who drains more than they deposit? Who consistently pulls me away from my focus, my peace, my purpose, my clarity, and emotional stability? And that is not from a place of bitterness, but a place of stewardship. And some healing seasons and journeys require becoming more comfortable with silence and isolation, because silence reveals things that performance hides. Silence reveals who contacts you when you initiate it, who only values your access, who only felt comfortable with the over-explaining version of you, who became uncomfortable once boundaries appeared, who disappeared once you started to set boundaries, who preferred you emotionally exhausted because exhaustion made you easier to access. And eventually our nervous system stops confusing chaos with connection. We stop auditioning to belong. We stop negotiating our worth. We stop translating our soul and our spirit for rooms committed to misunderstanding us. And not because we're hard, but because we become anchored. And there is a difference between being nice and being rooted. Nice people seek approval. Rooted people seek alignment. Nice people fear disappointing others. Rooted people understand that disappointment and disappointing others is sometimes the cost of no longer betraying your own clarity, your own peace, your own focus, your own dreams, your own emotional well-being. And some healing seasons are not about becoming less kind. They are about becoming less emotionally available to what continuously distracts and drains, delays, divides, or disconnects us from our purpose. And that is focus. That is discernment. That is wisdom. And that, most importantly, is alignment, which brings me to the 3 keys. Key number 1, some people become emotionally exhausted not from doing too much physically, but from constantly managing perception, the jockeying that people tend to do in small groups, the misunderstanding, the belongings, the emotional tension, and approval, which brings me to key number 2. Emotionally healthy relationships, whether that is friendships, co-workers, romantic relationships, require reciprocity, clarity, honesty, advocacy, service, communication, and mutual emotional investment, and not constant emotional labor from one person. Which brings me to key number 3. Healing often begins when we stop confusing being emotionally needed with being emotionally valued. I'm going to say that again. Healing often begins when we stop confusing being emotionally needed with being emotionally valued. The one reflection question: where in my life am I still emotionally over-functioning, over-explaining, or managing perception and relationships that may no longer feel emotionally reciprocal, honest, aligned, peaceful, or safe? So before you go, thank you truly for sharing this time with me. It has been an honor and a pleasure to sit with you and praying for grace in this space. If today's episode offered you clarity, grounding, or a pause for a cause you didn't know you needed, please subscribe, share this podcast with someone you care about, and leave a 5-star rating so that this isn't a monologue but a dialogue, and that it will help this space to grow. Now let's close with one breath. We're going to inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. and again at 8 p.m. Central. This is Cut to the Chase at 8, C2TC8, Her Circle, High Performing Empowered Women, and men ready to thrive circle with me. I am Madison Samone Chase. Let's cut the noise. Let's get clear. Let's get ready, set, grow, and go, and be great. Blessings to you and yours until tomorrow.